I am a man in my 40s and just started using a good cleanser, moisturizer, exfoliant, vitamin C, and sunscreen that does not feel unpleasant. What products do you use? How much do you spend? Any suggestions? I am a white man trying not to look like worn leather. Story 1. I'm a man in my late 30s. My main products are CeraVe Face Wash and CeraVe Face Lotion. I use these every morning and every night. I also use a salicylic acid toner and a CeraVe retinol serum every night after washing my face. I have a Biore face sunscreen that I use every morning, and I reapply it throughout the day if I am outside a lot. Many men do not care about skincare, but at the very least, they should use sunscreen. It protects against skin cancer and reduces visible signs of aging. Story 2. About a year ago, I randomly came across a skincare video on YouTube. I went down a rabbit hole of skincare videos from dermatologists. They all said the most important thing for skincare is wearing sunscreen. The second most important is some type of retinoid. I ended up with a basic routine that is about 90% as effective as the most complex routines. It only takes a few minutes in the morning and at night, and it is not that expensive. Morning cleanser, vitamin C serum, moisturizer and sunscreen combination. Night cleanser, retinol and moisturizer combination. As a man, you have to include the neck and back of the neck in the routine too, not just the face. Story 3. All these rude people are going to look 55 when they turn 35. Wash your face, moisturize, and wear sunscreen. Story 4. What sunscreen are you using that doesn't feel uncomfortable? Whenever I apply some and go for a run, my eyes start burning, and my arms and legs feel extra sticky as sweat mixes with the sunscreen. Additionally, your clothes can get stained. Story 5. I am 38 years old. At night, I use a cleanser, retinol, and night lotion. In the morning, I use the same cleanser, eye wrinkle cream, vitamin C serum, and sunscreen. I also make an effort to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I didn't have great sleeping habits for a long time, so this has made a big difference. I don't drink alcohol anymore and don't smoke. I occasionally have a soda or energy drink, but I drink water all day. I take good vitamins and collagen peptides. I spent a lot of time in the sun, so I am self-conscious about how old my eyes look for my age. That happened quickly. I'm not trying to look young. I just don't want to look haggard more than I already do. Story 6. I use CeraVe cleanser with salicylic acid, Vanicream fragrance-free moisturizer, and low-dose tretinoin at night. Story 7. Exfoliate twice a week and use toner or glycolic acid twice a week. Not on the same day. I only shave on days I exfoliate and only immediately after a hot shower. Apply a moisturizing mask once a week. Wash twice a day and use a sunscreen with hyaluronic acid moisturizer every day. For breakouts, I use a spot treatment. Story 8. 50 meters here. Do not listen to those who say, I only need gasoline and whiskey. It is easy to say when you are 25 to 30, but when you reach 50, you realize that it actually matters a lot, and by then, it is usually too late. I use mostly soap and water daily. It is not regular bar soap, which can be drying. It is a tea tree oil-based hydrating cleanser that will not dry you out. I use a witch hazel astringent, which is very inexpensive, once or twice a week. I use a CeraVe salicylic acid cleanser. I used to use it every day, but my clinician told me it dries your skin out a lot, so 2 to 3 times a week is enough. I have a good, light, unscented moisturizer, Clinique Dramatically Different, for daily use. When I am going to be outside, I use a very light Neutrogena 75 SPF sunscreen because I live in Florida. I use retinol twice a week and a CeraVe night cream before bed. I get facials 2 or 3 times a year and see a dermatologist for blackhead extractions. I was warned against using any scrubs, such as St. Ives apricot scrub, as they only damage the skin. Lifestyle-wise, I make sure to drink plenty of water, eat as clean as possible, and limit alcohol to once or twice a week. Keeping your bedding clean also helps. It makes a huge difference. I can look at photos of myself from 10 years ago and essentially look the same. I do not base how I feel about myself on feedback from women, but I am often complimented by them on how good my skin looks. I lost the hairline battle before I turned 30 and went clean-shaven. I swore I would at least keep my skin and teeth in good shape. Good luck. Story 9. Definitely a straight man, but women do call me beautiful. I use a charcoal mask 1 to 2 times a month, and the same with rosemary hair and scalp oil. I use an exfoliating facial cleanser in the shower. It is acidic, not a scrub. I apply toner on my face and neck after the shower, followed by facial moisturizer and skin elasticity oil. I use the oil less often or before bed as it leaves my skin glossy. I apply skin-firming body lotion, then body spray and deodorant. I always smell good. I use eye cream when needed and beard oil. I also use foot balm to soften my feet. As a martial artist, my feet get beaten up. I get a pedicure once every other month to remove callous skin. Story 10. Wash face and beard with cleanser. Apply vitamin C serum and retinol eye cream for crow's feet, then moisturizer. Exfoliate every other day. Wear sunscreen when outdoors. 36-year-old male. Story 11. I have a skincare routine. People often ask for product names, so I have added a couple. PM routine takes under 10 minutes. AM routine: shave, hydrating mist, hydrating toner, collagen serum, moisturizer, and sunscreen. PM routine: cleanser, mist, toner, peptide serum or bean essence, tretinoin, moisturizer. Sometimes centella oil. I often use an exfoliating toner in the PM. I have a couple of toners. Beauty of Josie and Ginseng, Hada Labo Premium, Real Ferment Micro Toner, Pyamkang Yul Deep Moisturizer Toner. In the AM, I use the ginseng mixed with COSR X Snail. In the PM, I usually use Hada Labo. I started off using my wife's products, then expanded the routine to suit my needs. Sunscreen, cleanser, and tretinoin or another retinol are the key products. Story 12. I use OneSkin. I use the peptide from this study to help skin health and slow aging in the skin. I also always put on sunscreen. The earlier you start wearing sunscreen, the better. Ultraviolet damage is a significant cause of aging in the skin and can also lead to cancer. Story 13. I use my shampoo to scrub my face. Then I dry it off and do not think about my face for the rest of the day. I try to apply sunscreen when I am outside for a long time. I have pretty flawless skin at 39. Story 14. Just wash my face with soap and water. If it is dry and tight, apply a very light touch of cocoa butter. As a black man, I use Vaseline with cocoa butter on my lips, hands, legs, especially the feet. I spend a lot of time in the water. After a shower, a layer of Vaseline with cocoa butter will keep your skin protected. Be careful. Vaseline and hot sun act like tanning oil. It may cause burning. Story 15. I'm 38. In a few weeks. I do my routine in the evening. When I leave home for more than a few minutes, I use a beauty balm cream with sun protection factor 50 in the morning. The routine itself: CeraVe moisturizing cleanser 5 days a week, a stronger oil-based cleanser called Benefit twice a week to clean my pores, spaced out as needed. I usually use these in the shower. A Benefit clay mask once every 2 weeks or so when the oil-based cleanser is not sufficient anymore. The ordinary retinol twice per week. A lower concentration retinol cream from Kiehl's on the other days of the week. A moisturizing serum anytime my skin feels drier. Some kind of toner to tighten pores. COSRX Snail Mucin and COSRX Snail Eye Cream every day. Moisturize with Kiehl's face lotion every day. Some kind of mega moisturizing mask every few weeks. It looks like a lot, but I don't do all of it every day. I cycle through as needed depending on how my skin feels. I also try to time things around when I shave once per week with a beard trimmer. Putting a bunch of product on top of longer stubble does not feel like it is achieving much, so less frequent products like retinol get used right after I shave. Story 16. Just add a retinoid to this and you're good. My dermatologist friend from medical school recommended the routine you are using plus a retinoid to me. Story 17. CeraVe Hydrating Facial Cleanser. Then Naturey Skin Conditioning Gel. I use La Roche-Posay SPF 30 sunscreen outdoors. Story 18. Night. Retinol. Tretinoin. Prescription. Morning. Sodium sulfacetamide and sulfur cleanser prescription. Niacinamide good molecules. Azelaic booster Paula's choice. Hydroboost water cream Neutrogena. Unseen sunscreen goop. Always wash skin before gym or sports. Different products work for different people, so your mileage may vary. The morning routine is quick. Apply them one after the other or mix. There are ads for a similar all-in-one called Pretty Boy, but I have no experience with it. The prescription retinol really works. It produces dewy skin after a few weeks of consistent use. Highly recommend. Story 19. The Inky List Hyaluronic Acid Cleanser. The Inky List Hyaluronic Acid Serum. The Inky List Niacinamide Serum. CosRx Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence. First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream Moisturizer. Supergoop Superfood SPF 50 Everyday Lotion. All in order. Keeps my skin fresh and is easy to track. Story 20. Clean diet, hydration, no smoking, daily exposure to sunlight, washing the face with soap upon returning home, clean bedsheets, and moisturizer. Avoid chemical sunscreen and other chemical products that I do not want my skin to absorb. Story 21. I wash my face with Cetaphil cleanser. Nothing else, no moisturizer. I try to avoid excessive sun exposure. Story 22. I clean my face in the morning and afternoon and shower usually once a day. I do not use cream, oils, gels, or similar products, except for beard oil, which I do not apply to my skin. Story 23. Wash my face with a tea tree oil face wash every other or third shower. That is it. I have good skin. Story 24. I buy the least expensive shampoo and soap available. Going to the gym every day and stopping alcohol consumption improved my skin significantly. Story 25. 30-plus skincare routine. I splash cold water on my face and hope the lighting stays dim enough so no one notices. Story 26. Bar soap. Washing my hands. Rinsing my face before bed and after every meal with clean hands and clean water. Shaving every third day. Story 27. I use CeraVe facial lotion on my face. Otherwise, I would have very dry skin. I wash my face in the shower with Harry's facial cleanser. Story 28. My opinion is that smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and time in the sun are the main causes of skin aging. Avoiding these is my main skincare routine. Other than that, I wash my skin and try to stay hydrated. I do not use fancy or expensive products and I am satisfied with the results. Story 29. Apply facial sunscreen every day. Use tretinoin cream and moisturizer at night. Wash with a gentle cleanser in the morning, after work, and before bed. Story 30. Apply sunscreen every day without fail. Use moisturizer in the mornings and wash your face with a gentle cleanser twice daily. Story 31. I use a body wash, shampoo, and conditioner combo, and the rest is left to cocoa butter and pink lotion for my hair. Story 32. Bar soap. My face is sensitive to overwashing and quickly gets too dry. At age 50, I still get pimples. I have used the same Coast soap for over 30 years on my face, washing for 3 to 5 seconds, then rinsing off. If I am outside for more than 45 minutes, I apply SPF 70 sunscreen on my face and neck, and on my shoulders and chest if at the beach. If the sunscreen does not feel greasy, it is likely an effective sunscreen. I have been doing this for over 30 years. I can pass for age 40, give or take some gray in my beard, and I credit that to sunscreen. My brother has tried every moisturizer and facial product known, but has similar wrinkles to me. I learned that he gets Botox on his forehead wrinkles, which helps smooth things out. There was a man who drove south every morning to work with the sun on his left, then back with the sun on his left. Story 33. I have a bottle of product for my beard and some hand cream I use during the winter. I also own a stone to remove my calluses. I use it when they break open. Story 34. CeraVe moisturizer with SPF 50 every day. Cetaphil exfoliating cleanser a few times a week. That's it really. Story 35. I stole a 5-liter jug of industrial soap intended for kitchens from a job some 10 years ago and used it for everything. Story 36. You know what is worse than looking like an old leather bag? Being one of those unnaturally smooth men in their 50s. Creepy. Story 37. I use the Philosophy face wash a couple of times a week. I also use their exfoliating wash. I use Kiehl's face cream for moisturizer. For face sunscreen, I use either Supergoop or Sunbum. Story 38. Salicylic acid face wash and moisturizer. Maybe an overnight mask, a resurfacing serum, and caffeine cream because I was up with puffy eyes. My friends think it is unusual, but I do not care. I have a much younger girlfriend, and I want to look good for her as long as I can. I think sunscreen is the most important. Story 39. I shower twice a day. I use Duke Cannon charcoal-infused soap and a washcloth to exfoliate. I use foaming face wash and a washcloth on my face. After I shower, I use Lubriderm lotion to moisturize. Story 40. Cleaning some moisturizing once in a while to avoid eczema, which I have trouble with. The most important thing is not to mess with it. Story 41. Facial soap and facial cream with sun protection factor. One of my female friends says I apply the face cream as if I am mopping a floor. Story 42. Drink plenty of water. Do not eat unhealthy food. Do not put any unhealthy substances on my face. My skin is flawless, and my wife hates me for it. Story 43. My ex-girlfriend introduced me to a skincare brand called The Ordinary. It is affordable and they offer starter sets so you do not need extensive knowledge. The basic set with sunscreen is a good place to begin. Use retinol at night to maintain a youthful appearance. Story 44. I wash my face with my shampoo and then use a decent quality face cream. Once a week, I use an exfoliating face wash. Story 45. Right now, I am using Beauty of Josian products. Sunscreen, eye lifter, and moisturizer. All three cost me about $55 to $60 total from Amazon and will last for several months. Story 46. I am 45 years old and have never used skincare products of any kind. I grew up on a farm, so I might use aloe occasionally if I got sunburned, depending on how uncomfortable I was. Other than that, I just use soap and water in the shower. Story 47. Moisturize with sun protection factor in the morning. Wash your face in the shower at night. Apply moisturizer before bed. Limit direct sun exposure by wearing a baseball cap. The best way to avoid looking older than your age is to never smoke. Story 48. I just started shaving my head bald. I use a thin coat of Aquaphor on the scalp after shaving. Other than that, I just use face wash in the shower. Story 49. I would start by addressing from the inside out. By that, I mean what you put into your body. For most people, if you eat mostly whole foods such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean protein, and monounsaturated or polyunsaturated fats, drink water, and exercise, you are about 90% of the way there. Aside from that, a basic exfoliating scrub and a sun protection factor 30 or higher sunscreen moisturizer is all you need. The serums and masks will offer little return on investment. Story 50. Bulldog moisturizer with aloe vera followed by salicylic acid. Sunscreen Aveeno SPF 50 if going outside for a long time. Simple has yielded the best results. Story 51. Water on my face when I shower. That is it as far as cleaning. No soap, no moisturizers, no cleansers. If I know I am going to spend time in the sun, I use some suntan lotion with at least 50 sun protection factor. I also do not drink or smoke. I work a physical job and sweat a lot, plus do many outdoor activities like mowing the lawn. I get maybe 3 pimples a year on my face. People often tell me they think I look about 5 years younger than I am. This routine works for me. I know it would not work for everybody. Story 52. I use Teej Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for men. I get the level 4 monthly package and it costs about $70. It includes a daily wash, a scrub twice per week, a daily super serum, a daily eye cream, a daily morning moisturizer, a daily evening moisturizer, and a clay mask once per week. I also get the lip balm just because. I am 27 years old, but everyone thinks I am between 18 and 21. I have even had someone guess I was 16 before. Everyone is shocked when I tell them my actual age. People are always surprised when I say I have already been through a divorce. They always ask how old I am. Story 53. I use Egyptian magic on my body and face at night and occasionally throughout the day. Then I use Badger Daily Mineral Sunscreen in the mornings or anytime I am going to be outside for prolonged periods. Story 54. I bought a Gillette face and beard wash for €12 and Nivea face cream for men for about €5. My beard now looks amazing, just like my skin. It is not oily and looks somewhat dry even when it is hot outside, like now with 38 degrees Celsius. Story 55. Showering, staying out of the sun, wearing sunscreen when exposed to the sun, and not smoking. This is not that complicated. Story 56. I am 35 years old. I have moisturizer for my face, but I do not use it every day. I am half Asian, and so far, I have been lucky because my skin is basically perfect. I do not have a wrinkle or a pimple. I have skin like a young boy. I do not get sunburned either, but I tend to avoid the sun because I do not like it very much. I get tans very quickly. After an hour, it is noticeable. I shower multiple times a day and wash my face with water only unless there is a special need for cleaning. Story 57. If your face feels bumpy or oily, clean with toner. Then moisturize afterward. Always wear sunscreen and hats when outside to keep your face looking great. Do not take long showers and moisturize immediately after a shower to lock in moisture. Story 58. I use CeraVe foaming face cleanser to clean my face. They have a light lotion that I apply afterward to moisturize for the day. On certain nights, I use Biore charcoal face masks which are intended for her, but I use them anyway because my skin can get oily. Story 59. I am 37 years old. I believe in taking care of myself with a balanced diet and rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I put on an ice pack while doing stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now. After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey almond body scrub, and on my face, an exfoliating gel scrub. Then, I apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol because alcohol dries your face and makes you look older. Then, I apply moisturizer, followed by an anti-aging eye balm and a final moisturizing protective lotion. Story 60. Regular bar soap in the shower and scrub with a towel or hand cloth. After showering, I use Sea Breeze with cotton balls on my face and neck to remove any remaining loose dirt. I have never had a problem with acne breakouts. Story 61. I sometimes get water on my face when I shower. I am one of those people who use the same towel for their body and face. I have perfect skin and do nothing special for it. I do not want to start a skincare routine because I value the natural balance of oils and other substances the body produces to maintain itself. Story 62. Harry's face wash morning and night. Eucerin SPF 30 face lotion every morning. CeraVe lotion at night. For the rest of my skin, I use Aquaphor lotion for my hands morning and night because I have to wash my hands frequently at work. Aveeno lotion for the rest of my body after I shower. I don't smoke, drink minimal alcohol, drink a lot of water, take my vitamins, and stay active. I'm in my late 30s and often get mistaken for someone in their mid to late 20s. Story 63. I wash my face every day. If I get dirty from work, I use St. Ives apricot scrub. If I have a chill day and do not get dirty, I use Clean and Clear Morning Burst Face Wash. After washing my face, which is always in the shower, I hydrate my skin with Neutrogena Hydro Boost Face Lotion with hyaluronic acid. Story 64. I am 40 years old. I use her Innisfree products, cleanser, moisturizer, and toner for the face. In the shower, I use regular shower gel and let the water do the rest. Story 65. I moisturize my face about 1/3 of the time that I shave. Mostly, I just forget. I normally scrub my entire body with a washcloth and Dial Gold antibacterial soap. Then, I apply Lubriderm lotion on my heels, knees, elbows, and ankles. Story 66. Daily face scrub from Everyman Jack. Used twice a day. I started using it about a month ago, and my face has definitely cleared up considerably. Story 67. I have never been convinced that lotions have any long-term effect on preventing signs of aging. However, sunscreen definitely does. Story 68. I have really greasy skin that never needs moisturizer. I just wash my face in the morning with regular soap. I use sunscreen with sun protection factor 30 or 50 if I am doing sports outside. I reapply it every 3 to 4 hours based on the ultraviolet rating for the day on my weather application. Story 69. It should not be too involved, in my opinion. Wash your face in the shower every day, as you wash other parts of your skin daily. I use Cetaphil or a similar store brand. Exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week afterward. Any product labeled exfoliating is fine. Both of these steps are done in the shower. Outside the shower, apply face lotion and lotion on your elbows, knees, and feet. These products are usually located next to each other. Obviously, use sunscreen if you are spending time in the sun. Story 70. Duke Cannon Energizing Face Wash in the morning and Dermatology Face Cleansing Oil in the evening. Dermatology Face Cleansing Oil is excellent but somewhat expensive in my opinion. It lasts a long time though. Story 71. Whatever my wife places on the counter for me. From what I can tell, it is La Roche-Posay line of facial cleanser, moisturizer, and SPF 30. Story 72. I am 40 years old. I have never had an actual skincare routine, just things I do as necessary. Many women are jealous because my skin is softer than theirs, except for my hands, which have one large callus. I also work outside most days, so my skin should look like alligator skin by now, but it does not. I use Dr. Teal's body wash with Epsom salt for the daily shower. It is effective at moisturizing. Occasionally, I use Irish Spring soap because I like the scent. That is literally all I use for my body. My head is bald, so I wear a hat. My face gets a little extra beard oil when I shave. It helps prevent beard dandruff and keeps the skin soft and supple. I apply a daily beard wax that likely contains coconut oil. It helps seal in moisture as well as tame the beard. If my skin starts getting dry, which usually happens in winter, I apply Aveeno lotion as needed. Story 73. Try the ordinary. I use the glycolic face wash, eye serum that reduces redness and bags, and the moisturizer. It's a reasonable price, around £15 for the face wash, and £8 to £15 for the rest. The products last a long time. Then I apply a specific face sun cream on top. If you have a The Ordinary shop or concession near you, the staff are very helpful. I went in and said roughly what I wanted, and the assistant picked up all the products and explained how to use them. Story 74. I use a basic cleanser and moisturizer. Cleansers like Cetaphil do the job nicely. Some days I just wash my face with water. Story 75. I use Cetaphil face wash in the morning and evening, and Aveeno moisturizer. I also shave my head, so I use Shea Moisture Moisturizer for the scalp. I use Neutrogena sunscreen on my face in the summer and sunscreen mist on my arms daily. I do not use sunscreen during the winter, though it might be a good idea. I bought retinol once, but I read that you have to be more careful with sunscreen if you use it, and I did not want the trade-offs. So I do not do anything fancy, but it gets the job done. Story 76. I probably should do something, but honestly, I have never used a skincare product in my life, besides sunscreen. Story 77. I use Native body wash in the shower daily. I do not wash my face. I get a pimple once every few months, and I use a salicylic acid acne pad to treat it. I always put on sunscreen if I am going to be outside for a while. I use Hawaiian Tropic because I like the way it smells. Story 78. I am 46 years old. In the morning, I use a face wash followed by a serum, moisturizer, and sunscreen. At night, I use the same routine, but I replace the sunscreen with an eye cream. Story 79. 40. Not much, granted half my face is beard these days. Occasional cleanser, caffeine cream for the eye bags, beard balm for the skin under the beard. If I feel like it, some foundation for hiding the eye bags to an extent, but I would not classify that under skincare. I do not trust exfoliants. I still believe they do more harm than good. As a programmer by trade and hobby indoor artist, I do not get out in the sun much, so sunscreen only when I know I will be out all day, which is not often. Reminds me I might have to check the expiration date on that one. Story 80. I wash my face when I wake up in the morning and again in the shower at night. I apply sunscreen if I am outside during the day. Story 81. Warm water and soap. Sunscreen if I plan on being outside in the sun or shade for longer than an hour. Story 82. SRX shower face wash, toner, snail mucus, and moisturizer. Really good products available on Amazon. Story 83. Dr. Bronner's Peppermint Liquid Castile Soap is used for the head, face, and beard. For the body, I use whichever bar soap I have received most recently as a gift. I like the fancy products from Lush or Zoom. Once or twice a week, I rub my whole body from head to toe with pure, raw, cold-filtered coconut oil from the large container at Costco. I wear sun protection factor 30 if I expect to be in the sun for 1 to 2 hours. I use sun protection factor 50 if I will be outside for longer activities such as golf, the beach, or an amusement park. I drink more than 2 liters of water every day, do not smoke cigarettes or associate with smokers, exercise daily, sleep about 8 hours every night, and I have quit alcohol. Do I look 10 years younger? No, I look my age, but some men my age look 10 to 20 years older. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Story 84. Kiehl's Men's Face Wash followed by this Korean toner. Toner is a game changer, as you will not believe how much dirt and oil remain after working out or playing sports. I follow that with alternating days of Kiehl's facial moisturizer and an alpha hydroxy acid moisturizer. Story 85. I take a shower once a day. During the shower, water flows over my face. I do not use shampoo or conditioner, only body wash on my body. Story 86. Baking soda has been my main skincare routine lately. If you struggle with oily skin, blackheads, and mild acne, a touch of baking soda should be your new best friend. I always keep a small amount of Arm & Hammer baking soda in my bathroom. I even use Arm & Hammer face and body wipes after working in the sun all day so that sweat doesn't seep back into my skin and cause infection, acne, or more blackheads. Asepsia cleansing bars are pretty good too. I clean my face with the bar, then use a touch of baking soda followed by a rinse, and I'm good to go for the day without feeling like I have anything on my face. I stopped buying acne cleansers, blackhead removers, charcoal face masks, and similar products because I struggled so much with blackheads and oily skin before. My mom told me to use that soap bar and baking soda, and now those are the only 2 products I buy for skincare. I have saved about $40 on skincare products. I should note that baking soda can be rough on skin for some people, especially if you have dry skin. It's not recommended for everyone. That's why I suggest it mainly if you struggle with oily skin and blackheads like I did. It is controversial for use in a cleansing routine according to some dermatologists because baking soda has a high pH that can disrupt some people's natural skin balance. Besides that, baking soda is great for acne, oily skin, blackheads, and fungal infections since it's naturally antiseptic, antibacterial, and antifungal. Baking soda is best used as a topical treatment rather than an all-over skincare routine. Make sure to moisturize effectively after rinsing and patting dry to restore your skin's pH to normal levels. Most of the time, a small touch of baking soda with light lathering or using a soft bristled face massage scrubber works perfectly. After moisturizing well, your skin feels fresh and ready for the day. I highly recommend Arm & Hammer products. They're great for various uses. Every man should consider replacing their usual products with Arm & Hammer baking soda-based products. You can buy baking soda just about anywhere, and asepsia bars are available at your local pharmacy or Walmart. Story 87. I wash my face with warm water before bed and stay hydrated. I am 25 years old, and I am always asked for identification because people say I look like a teenager. Story 88. I suffer from dry skin and rosacea. Mice and snail products do wonders for me. One of my Korean friends introduced me to them, and I have never looked back. I always recommend this starter kit. Story 89. I take 3 showers a day using minimal dial body wash. I do not know any man with a skincare routine unless he has health issues with his skin. Story 90. I use a CeraVe hydrating face wash in the shower. I have a low sun protection factor skin cream for any time my skin feels dry, though it is more often oily. I use a loofah, and yes, it is the same one I wash my body with. Story 91. Dry balls, then dry face with the same towel. But in all seriousness, head and shoulders for everything. Now that I am dating a beauty girl, I use some of her products, and they are pretty nice. However, I do not go out of my way to use them on my own. I am 40, and luckily, I have never had an issue with acne or anything. Story 92. I started with a Clinique 3-step travel pack and sunscreen. As the steps ran out, I researched and bought replacements. Story 93. I know this might get criticism because it is expensive, but go with La Roche-Posay cleanser and lotion. My female friend who is into skincare suggested it, and it is a game changer. My skin is amazing now. Also, Jack Black Gel Body Lotion is really good for everywhere except the face. It smells great and does not leave an oily residue. Story 94. I follow the Innisfree routine, and it really changed my skin drastically. Took a little over 2 months of my skin purging before I saw amazing results. I do it twice a day, and it has definitely cleared my skin. Story 95. For me, I simply avoid exposing my face to the sun. I do not use any products, just regular bar soap when showering. Story 96. 40 milliliters. Morning. Facial cleanser, facial silicone scrub, moisturizer with sun protection factor. I start working at noon, driving the whole day. When I start my shift, I apply specific sunscreen for face and neck, and a different one for arms and left knee that receive a lot of sun. At night, facial cleanser, facial silicone scrub, eye cream, face serum, and night moisturizer. Story 97. I would recommend you search Reddit. This question is asked almost weekly, and each time it receives fewer helpful responses. Story 98. Bar soap. My face is sensitive to overwashing and quickly gets too dry. At age 50-something, I still get pimples. I have used the same Coast soap for over 30 years on my face for 3 to 5 seconds, then wash it off. If I am outside for more than 45 minutes, I apply SPF 70 sunscreen on my face and neck, and on my shoulders and chest if I am at the beach. If the sunscreen does not feel greasy, there is a good chance it is not effective. I have been doing this for over 30 years. I can pass for age 40, give or take the gray in my beard, and I credit that to sunscreen. My brother has tried every moisturizer and facial product known, yet he gets wrinkles similar to mine. I learned he gets Botox for his forehead wrinkles, which smooths them. There is a man who drove south every morning to work with the sun on his left side, then drove back with the sun on his left side. Story 99. I don't have one. I try to stay covered up in the sun and spray stuff on me in the woods to keep ticks off. That's it. The rest is for women. I am a man and don't use beauty products. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.